Greetings. I'm George Donnelly, and I'm going to talk about LocalSolana. So, LocalSolana it's a P2P exchange, but the primary use case is for fiat in, fiat out P2P remittances using stablecoin rails for the unbanked. So the problem is that low value or low amount TradFi remittances incur high fixed fees, making them quite costly, particularly in the developing world, and this hinders financial inclusion and economic participation. So I first got interested in this problem in 2018 when I was working for the Dash DAO. And I was educating people on the streets of Medellin, where I live, Medellin, Colombia, about how to use crypto. And I met a lot of Venezuelans who had left home to come to Colombia to earn really any old thing in order to send funds home to pay for living costs for their elderly parents and their children. And a lot of these people might earn, like $10 or $12 a day, optimistically, and then remit it home, because of the urgency of the situation. And many times, the options like MoneyGram, Western Union were not available, were too expensive. They didn't meet necessarily the documentation requirements. We're just outside of their world, really. And so they often had to rely on more informal operations that, would charge high fixed fees. If you're remitting, under $200 home, it's not the percentage fee that is really eating into what your recipient is going to receive. It's like a high fixed fee of, $5 or $10, per remittance. Um, but even there are percentage fees, for example, in places that are in crisis or experiencing, oppressive regulation, hyperinflation, etc. Okay, so the solution, a Web3 P2P remittances dApp. So it takes two P2P crypto trades, for example, from local Bitcoins, chains them together, and that enables fiat in, fiat out transfers with a stablecoin in the middle, such as USDC. So really little to no crypto knowledge is needed by end users in order to, send a remittance this way. So how it works is the sender pays a local trader in their currency, for example, USD. The trader escrows stablecoins on chain, and then a local trader in the recipient's country converts that to local currency, and the recipient gets their local currency, be that bank deposit or cash, mobile money, whatever. Here's a little more detail on how it works. Here's the unique value proposition is the focus on the smaller remittances, sub $200. It's the sequential escrow, such that you can have this fiat in and fiat out situation. Local Solana provides on chain escrow in between. No protocol level KYC requirements. Lower fee, ideally zero fee. And of course, faster remittances. Also, the idea is to build this out to include combo remittances, which is, for example, if the remittance sender wants their recipient to receive goods or services directly to ensure the funds are spent on that, they can directly purchase those goods and services in the target country and have them delivered. So we have a strong community of local experts, particularly in Latin America. It's currently developing one particularly in Nigeria and other parts of Africa, and this is based on 4 years of field experience. So the market opportunity, the macro is $900 billion a year global remittances market. There are a couple billion people who are unbanked, underbanked. They're in the informal economy. They're migrants. They're displaced. All of these are potential users of a non-TradFi solution. There are certain corridors that experience high friction with TradFi remittances, high fees, hyperinflation, unreliable, informal, or inaccessible remittance options, or crises. For example, a few years ago, a lot of Haitians left Haiti due to yet another crisis in Haiti for Chile, and so suddenly the Chile to Haiti remittance corridor got very big, as the Haitians worked in Chile to send money home. So a lot of times people exit these crisis situations without formal documentation, relying on informal networks, and not earning so much money that they can really pay these high fixed fees. If we're gonna dial it in a little more, we've for Local Solana, we've seen the most interest in Venezuela and Nigeria. Here are some numbers on that. As you can see, a large percentage of the transactions are the smaller remittances in these markets, Venezuela and Nigeria, and there's a significant amount of fees being generated. So the business model could be a small transaction fee. So far, I'm considering taking 1%, and half of that would go to the referral program, to have a hefty referral program to really be a main marketing and onboarding vector early on. Or ideally, it would be a public good. I don't know if that's ideal, but I'm certainly open to that. I think both ways are viable, though. So the big vision here is to disrupt TradFi remittances. It's to develop a cross-borders essential marketplace where people can buy goods and services cross-border with crypto, which I call combo remittances, to onboard more users, more educated crypto users and holders. To slowly, initially, a lot of these remittances are going to be, fiat in, fiat out, of course. That's part of the draw. But over time, through the app, we can educate people. We can incentivize them to hold the crypto instead of taking fiat. And then as they're holding the crypto, they can, we can create local economies. We can, partner with yield providers so that people can save and get yield on their crypto. And, of course, all of this can lead to new capital formation, new use cases for Web3. So Local Solana is based on 4 years of field work in Latin America that I did for BCH and Dash. We can look at, I did a lot of face-to-face educational work in Spanish. I'm a fluent Spanish speaker. I built a large organization for BCH and Dash. And here are a lot of the videos that my organization made. So I have a lot of experience doing this kind of local education, talking to people, seeing what their needs are, understanding what the limits are, what the problems are. And I've lived in Latin America for quite a while. So the Local Solana MVP is nearly complete. So this is videos for Solana Eternal. So I'm turning that in today. From the previous field work, I've got about an email list of close to 10,000 people that are previously educated. Local Solana, the first iteration of Local Solana, developed by Open Peer Labs, developed an active community in Nigeria and Venezuela, among other places, and those folks are still with us. I did, with Dash, a successful combo remittances pilot between Madrid, Spain, and Caracas, Venezuela in 2019, participating in SWI, Solana, EVM hackathons, applying to accelerators, etc., etc. So about me, I'm a full-stack Web3 dev, but I've also done some marketing work, as I mentioned, for Dash and BCH. I've got a long history in the crypto space. I'm in this for philosophical reasons, etc. Here's some photos of me. I did a lot of speaking for Dash in Spanish here in Colombia. For example, here I'm educating a bunch of people at a local restaurant. I've also done Solana meetups, educational meetups for developers in collaboration with Super Team. Of course, my main claim to legitimacy in the space is that I have a Shiba Inu. So for more information, you can see LocalSolana.com. And yeah, I think that's it. Thank you very much.